Welcome to Springfield's 2024 State of the City Address. I'm Joe Pishneri, Springfield City Council President and from Ward 6. I want to thank the band Bosa Blues for their performances earlier. It was very nice. We appreciate that you have chosen this evening to spend some time with us, and we have a lot to celebrate in the next hour or so. Less than an hour probably. Before we get started, I would like to ask our elected officials that are present with us to stand up and be recognized. Come on, I know who you are. Thank you very much. We're going to take the time to reflect on where we have been as a community and where we are going. We hope you're as excited as we are for the future of Springfield. And while in addition to while honoring our past, embracing our journey is the theme of Mayor Van Gordon's State of the City Address tonight. As reflected in the video you just saw, we are a group of individuals with different experiences, skills, and talents. But when we come together, we can accomplish many things. Now it is my honor to introduce to you our Mayor, Sean Van Gordon.
I fell in love with Springfield while I was working in UPS through college. I could always feel the city coming alive, looking out through the Thurston Hills at dawn. Springfield is a living and breathing place. Over the last 20 years, our community and nation have faced a dynamic set of challenges and opportunities that create pressure and stress on our businesses and families. The question we should be asking ourselves is, how do we choose to respond? The answer will tell you who we are as a city and why our future is so bright. Embracing our journey is about actively participating and making the most of our experiences as a community, both good and bad. We are hardworking, we are friendly, we are creative, and we are open. It's about having and keeping faith with your neighbors. After a very long January, responding to an ice storm and a personal surgery, I want to celebrate the stories of Springfield with you tonight. We've all chosen to be part of Springfield. We share a collective responsibility to ensure that we continue to thrive and grow through our courage and our actions. To never fear failure, Springfield is calling each of us to be part of its journey. Springfield is a community who embraces each other when times are at their hardest. On September 16th, while serving at a U.S. Air Force base in northeast Colorado, Airman Trinity Reinhardt was killed in a Humvee accident just 2 months short of her 20th birthday. Lieutenant Joshua Bierbauer said she was truly exceptional, always willing to help others, no matter the situation. She loved what she did as a defender. On September 25th, in a show of support and respect, hundreds of people lined the streets throughout downtown to honor Airman Reinhardt's return to Springfield to be laid to rest. It's a moment I will never forget. Tonight, we have a special guest in the audience. Airman Reinhardt's mother, Rachel Sandlin, and members of her family have joined us today. They are here because with the blessing of the family, it is a privilege to announce the City of Springfield, along with our partner agencies, will be honoring Airman Trinity Reinhardt at Memorial Day 2024 with a plaque dedication near the Women's Veterans Memorial at our Veterans Plaza. We will announce more details as the day gets near, but for now, I want to thank Rachel and all her family for joining us tonight. Springfield honors and remembers Airman Reinhardt's sacrifice. As we enter spring, our recovery from the January storm remains a high priority. During the storm, Springfield, East, and South Lane County were the epicenter of a significant regional emergency. Several thousand households and a majority of public buildings faced significant power losses, and many were damaged. We faced water shortages, fuel shortages, boil notices, communication issues, and many challenges. Also, we saw the best of Springfield. Families, neighbors, and businesses stepped up to shelter, to care for, and feed each other. We survived the ice storm because we took care of each other. Thank you, Springfield, for all that you did to help each other during that ice storm. To the public employees of Springfield, Lane County, the state of Oregon, and the many emergency responders, thank you for your work to support our city during the ice storm. Every city department and employee participated in what was effectively a total city mobilization during the storm. From long hours to comforting people who needed to get warm, their work has impacted our lives, and I appreciate it. Our community learned very hard lessons during that storm. We had roughly 2 inches of ice on every surface for several days. Time will provide us an important perspective on how to move forward through disasters like that. Across our community, in our households, we need to better prepare for emergencies, including natural disasters. I'll ask the Team Springfield partners to provide an update on their progress during our next regularly scheduled meeting and make that information easily available for the public. The storm emphasized the importance of infrastructure. Springfield's stormwater, transportation, and wastewater infrastructure are the largely publicly owned assets the city has. It is the foundation of our high-quality livable neighborhoods. However, the condition and quality of our infrastructure continues to age and degrade. Maintenance and preservation of public investments are challenging. Repairing and modernizing infrastructure is a priority of the council and a priority of mine. Since the end of timber payments to our road fund in 2008, we, like all cities in Oregon, have struggled to maintain our road system. In 2018, voters put their trust in Springfield by passing a 5-year bond to fix specific roads. I am proud to say Springfield completed those projects, and they completed them on time. Our roads still need substantial work, and this year the council and I are asking the voters for their trust again. Springfield has placed a bond measure on the ballot. It is for $20 million to repave a specific set of roads and requires the city to report on progress throughout the bond. While it's an estimated $135 per year per household, taxpayers will also be saving $80 from the sunset of the 2018 bond. Our roads need the help, and that's why I'm asking for Springfield's support to pass this important measure. But we are also making additional progress in high priority roads. In 2024, we will break ground on the Mill Street project. It has been a long time community commitment the council made to this community. We will begin the 42nd Street repaving project. In the heavily used intersection of Marcola and Mohawk, we'll get an effective interim fix while the council identifies other resources to make it into a longer-term project. The 42nd Street levee, also my favorite piece of infrastructure, remains a top priority for community safety, water quality, and flood protection. The city has spent a significant amount of time working with the Corps of Engineers, educating partners, and developing an emergency action plan around the levee. In 2024, we are expecting to launch a multi-year effort with the Corps to evaluate existing risks and find the best way to modernize the levee to keep Springfield safe. As we modernize and repair infrastructure, I'm asking that you all stay informed by getting on the Development and Public Works' email list or following the city on our social media channels. Springfield is a city of innovators, entrepreneurs, and skilled workers. We are committed to building a strong, vibrant regional economy from wood products, medical facilities, tourism, food and beverage. Springfield produces the goods and services that people need. In the past, Springfield was known as a lunch bucket city because of the number of workers that live here. We believe in the dignity and importance of hard work. It's why you can build your future in Springfield. Glenwood and the Franklin Corridor are the backbone of the metro region. It's the connection point between downtown Springfield, downtown Eugene, LCC, and Goshen. It's our connection with the University of Oregon. And as the research engine of the Knight Science Campus accelerates, I hope that workers in private research labs will find a home in Glenwood. The city and partners are working to plan more than 30 acres of riverfront property. It's going to take time, but we need to thoughtfully approach the infrastructure question and ensure public access to the river. In the South Franklin area, you should expect to see more work around the EWEB treatment plant, transportation improvements, and more in the coming years. But to build out the Glenwood district, Springfield will need to coordinate closely with our state and local partners. We need the Board of County Commissioners to close the transfer site, deliver on commitments around infrastructure funding, and coordinate their work around waste management. Springfield has a strong partnership and relationship with the county commissioners, and I'm looking forward to this conversation this year. This past year, Connected Lane County opened Spark at Booth Kelly. They engaged 134 partners and funders for a $1.8 million renovation. The project created 11,000 square feet of workforce development and career learning, which included CNC machines, 3D printers, welders, and more. In 2024, their goal is to serve 4,000 youth and expand manufacturing programs to deal with anticipated workforce needs. The historic Booth Kelly complex dates back to the 1900s, when the Booth Kelly Corporation bought that property. For decades, we have innovated there, and we've created it in that same space. Now a new generation is learning those same skills in that same space. It's a journey we should be proud of and we should celebrate. In 2023, Roseboro Forest Products announced a $150 million investment in their Springfield plant that will create 100 new jobs. Roseboro's journey started over 100 years ago in this logging industry. Over the years, Roseboro has adapted to change in the industry and now is North America's largest producer of glue laminated timber. Their ability to grow and invest in Springfield is critical to our future. Springfield's got a hard-earned reputation for being open for business. It means we need to extend the downtown and Glenwood system development charge exemption programs. We also have to find the resources to start planning for the North Gateway industrial area. Reputations are important to uphold. In the early morning of August 31st, Springfield police were called to a local home for domestic disturbance. When officers Brian Bragg and Kirsten Cardwell arrived at the scene, they attempted to contact the man in question and were met with a series of rounds fired from inside the house. Officer Bragg was struck. Shrapnel hit Officer Cardwell. As I visited with them in the hospital that morning, I was impressed by their humble resolve. They were just doing their job. I was just as impressed with the care and concern by the officers from multiple agencies, from the hospital staff, and later, as news leaked out, our community. I'm happy to say today that both officers are back at work. That interaction shows that Springfield is a public safety city. We support our police department. The police department is listening to our community and working to improve service for everyone that Springfield calls home. I am proud of the department. Department leadership has brought an emphasis on implementing and maintaining a set of best practices to promote effective crime reduction while building trust. I'm announcing for the first time in decades that the Springfield Police Department will complete its accreditation through the Northwest Accreditation Alliance. Accreditation processes improve outcomes through operational practices. At one point, the department had a total of 20 vacancies. Now they have 3. Filled positions have allowed the police to engage in more focused work, such as drunk driving enforcement and shoplifting stings. It creates an opportunity for positive community events, work with schools, and community service projects. This type of work is an investment in the long-term relationship between the police and the community we serve. It creates a journey that improves lives, protects businesses, and impacts our neighborhood livability. 3 years ago, Springfield was at the risk of losing its insurance coverage for liabilities. With work and dedication from a citywide team, in July 2023, our insurance company reduced the city's deductible for claims by half because of our performance. In February 2024, the City of Springfield received an Excellence in Best Practices Award from that same insurance company. The City Council, the City Manager, City Attorney, and I continue to see this as a high priority. During the police and jail campaign of 2022, the City Council committed to pursuing funding for a treatment court to actively engage with high-risk, high-need offenders in our community. In the fall of 2023, the U.S. Department of Justice awarded Springfield with a grant to begin that treatment court. That treatment court opened in 2024 and already has more than a dozen participants. With the state level reforms to Measure 110 going into effect, Springfield's police, fire, and elected leadership's voices will become critical in the development of diversion and deflection programs regionally. Our police and courts are part of a regional system of enforcement, treatment, and other services that can work together to get people the resources they need. In 2009, we started integrating the fire department with the City of Eugene. After nearly 15 years, it's clear to me our governance structure isn't sustainable. Over the last 2 years, a committee of city councilors from both cities have been working hard to develop recommended governance. It's going to be challenging. However, when completed, it will put this behind us so that we can continue to focus on medical and fire response. While governance remains a technical conversation, the fire department continues to work on safety risks to the community. In 2024, the fire department will increase its public engagement and education as part of the regional full-scale wildfire drills. These drills occur in high-risk neighborhoods to help prepare our crews and engage our community in how to reduce wildfire risk. The scope of the wildfire exercises will continue to grow in complexity and bring additional partner agencies. We look forward to engaging with the Springfield community more on this topic in the future. Public safety is a calling. It is a commitment by your entire family. First responders, face real risks to their safety while they consistently respond to changing emergencies. On behalf of the City of Springfield, I'd like to offer my personal thanks and gratitude to our police department, our fire department, our operations division, and all the emergency responders. Your work, your commitment, your sacrifice for Springfield, it is noticed, it's honored, and it is appreciated. Tonight, I'm joined by a group of community leaders that I've asked to provide perspective on their part of Springfield's journey. Please help me welcome Jamie Moffett, the University of Oregon's Senior Vice President for Finance and Administration and Chief Financial Officer, Jameson Otten, CEO of LTD and General Manager of LTD, and Oren Posner, the Vice President of Lane Forest Products. Thank you so much for joining us. So Jamie, you've been with the university for several years in various leadership positions, including the law school, athletics, central administration, as well as serving as interim president for a while. Given the extent of your experience, what do you see as the top priorities for the university as a new president takes the helm?
Great. Well, first I just want to say it's wonderful to be here tonight. And as you mentioned, we do have a new president. His name is Carl Schultz, and we're very excited to have him on campus. And in his first year, one of the things that the president's been doing is really focusing on developing strategic priorities for the campus. And he's doing that in a very collaborative way, where we're holding lots of listening sessions, workshops, et cetera, to get feedback from the community, from students and faculty and alumni and others. And that process is going to go on for this entire year, so we're not quite done, but a very early sneak preview. We have 4 primary strategic priorities that we are focusing on right now. The first one is, how do we remove barriers to graduation for our students so that we can help them to be successful and to graduate if they're hoping to in 4 years. The second is around helping them to enter the working world. So how can we help to support them as they make the progression out of school and into careers? Our third priority is really around the campus itself and how we can make that a flourishing place. And what we mean by that is a place where everybody feels that they belong and they get the support they need to be successful, and that's both faculty and students as well as staff. And then finally, what we're trying to do is focus on certain areas where we have expertise in academic research and areas where we can really impact the state and the community and the broader world. And so that's in things like innovation and impact, so the Knight campus that you mentioned earlier, things like the Ballmer Institute, where we're working on children's behavioral health and mental health, and other areas on campus where we have expertise like issues related to natural disasters, wildfires, earthquakes, those types of things. So I imagine those might change a little bit as we go through the process, so please don't hold me to the exact words, but that is what's coming out of our community as the top priorities.
Well, thank you for that. How does your vision of the University of Oregon encourage and enable prosperity for the region? And how can the university and its students make better connections with Springfield?
Yeah, that's a great question. And so as you think about the 4 priorities I just talked about, I think there's many opportunities for us to be even more closely connected. I would point first to that second priority around our students and their career development. Certainly they're learning things in the classroom. They're going to help them to be successful, so communication skills and analytical reasoning and problem solving. But what we found is that they also need experiential learning, and that comes from a lot of different places. It can come from internships and volunteer opportunities. It can come from jobs in the local community. And so as we build up that infrastructure, I think that's an area where there could be closer connection and continued connection. I also think that with our fourth priority around the areas of academic excellence, like Knight Campus, there's opportunities to work more closely with the city and with organizations in the city. And then finally, I'll just say, I think our prosperity is pretty linked. We employ thousands of people. Many of them live here in Springfield. And as we continue to succeed, I think the city will continue to succeed. And finally, I'll just say, I think there are some unique opportunities for partnerships. So the one that I would cite is, I think it was in the last year, we worked in partnership with Willamelaine to expand childcare facilities here. We made an investment in facilities, and that opened up more spots for children, both for our faculty and staff and for Springfield residents. So I think there's lots of great opportunity.
Well, thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to Jameson. So Jameson, you joined LTD in 2022, in November. What has been your impressions of Springfield?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for having me here tonight. And thank you all the elected officials as well for the hard work that you do. You showed a picture earlier, a slide earlier, of the Springfield police with the chainsaw in hand. I think that kind of encapsulates what I see in Springfield. There's a quote, I think it's by Peter Drucker, that says that culture eats strategy for breakfast. And that picture, to me, shows the culture of Springfield. You also mentioned Team Springfield. No matter what goal you set, if you don't have the culture to work together and get it done, do your homework, it doesn't happen. And I think that Springfield is ripe with that kind of culture here. And that's the experience that I've had in the time I've been here, whether I pick up the phone and call you, or call the city manager, or call the chief, or call Mike Caven. There's always a sense to want to jump in and solve, and I think that's what I've experienced here.
So trust in institution and leadership is at an all-time low across the country. How are you working to build trust with the community? And what advice do you have for public and private organizations on how to build trust?
Wow, so yeah, it's such an important question. It's such an important thing to do. We are really doing a lot of listening in our communities, doing a lot of listening. And we're asking the basic question, what do our communities need us to be? We know we've been the first 50 years of our existence, but what do we need to be for the next 50 years to meet the needs of the community and those who aren't even here yet? So listening to what those needs are, making good decisions with taxpayer money, communicating the results of those decisions. For transit, it's historically been ridership. Mr. Mayor, ridership is not an outcome, it's an indicator. So how do we as an organization align ourselves with the priorities of our communities and communicate progress there in an open, transparent way? And I think that's going to be critical as we move forward to continue to build trust.
All right, thank you. So during the ice storm, Lane Forest was one of the first community partners who reached out to the city. How important was it to Lane Forest Products to make that connection so early?
Well, after being closed for an unprecedented 4 days in a row, in 20 plus years or 30 years of doing this, that had never happened before. It didn't take a mulch scientist to realize that we had a really big problem, and it was going to take everybody to help solve it. So we reached out to the three amigos, the City of Eugene, City of Springfield, and Lane County, and tried to figure out what we could try to do together. It was really clear to me that our company and the way we do things was key to making things easy for the community and to make it work out. The hope I had was that we'd be able to work that out with the public agencies, and I was really gratified. It was really amazing how quickly and how effectively that was done. I expected, as a relatively skeptical business owner, that would be a difficult conversation to have, especially since some of it seems to be self-serving. But I was really pleased with the results I got from the City of Springfield. They were the primary in this, and Neil and Brian and Ben were just terrific to work with. They were supportive, they were trusting, and we were able to move forward really, really quickly. It was really clear that that this was centered in Springfield and in Cottage Grove, actually, the whole east side of the valley. And We just felt that it had to happen and we had to work together to make it happen. The logistics of it were something we felt we could handle, but the financial part of it was a big problem for us, and it didn't seem fair that it was going to be our problem. So the city and the county allowed us to make it a communal problem so that we could work together to solve it. And I just can't say enough about how comforting it was to have that happen and to not have to struggle to make it happen. So that was absolutely key, from traffic control to helping us with the locations to take the material, and then also opening your own facility and being sensitive to the fact that this is our business and what we do on a daily basis, and being sensitive to not hurting us as part of the process. It was definitely a challenge, and everybody wants to do this all at once. It definitely makes it hard to manage all of it, but it all went really, really well, and nobody got hurt, which is great.
Well, Springfield continues to change, and our workforce is changing with it. What should our focus be as we think about bringing on the next generation of workforce?
Well, my father was a retired professor at the University of Oregon, and because of that, or in spite of that, I dropped out of high school. So I have kind of a unique perspective. I'm now employing over 200 people in Lane County, and so it's definitely important that we honor both ends of that spectrum, both the university where we get innovation and technology and things that apply to our lives, and then the community college where we train the people to actually implement and utilize the technology. And it also goes all the way down to the school level. If we could teach people to show up on time and value work. Since COVID, it's really made it more difficult to keep people employed and to have people be feeling positive about that. But I really think it's important that we stress the little things that lead to the big things. And that's just been key for us to try to keep people focused and keep people at work. I think that kind of community approach, and a lot of the things that you were saying in your speech there were really, really important. And I just think that it was really, the whole experience has been really empowering as far as working with the city, and the communication level and the respect was really great. And I think that the state of the city is really good in that regard. I really want to call out the Public Works Department. I mean, I just can't say enough about everything. And it's not over. There's still a lot of stuff out there, and we're still struggling with what to do with it all. But anyway, so that's what I think. As far as the workforce things, it's all the little things that you all already know. That's what needs to happen.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Well, thank you so much for your insight and your advice. How about another round of applause for Traditionally, I've asked the council to provide some messages for the state of the city. This year, I asked each councilor to highlight a project in their ward that they're particularly passionate about. Let's take a look.
As a member of the City Council, I'm passionate about seeing businesses grow and thrive in Springfield. They are vital to our local economy in providing jobs and services community members need, even our furry four-legged friends. Several veterinary services expanded or opened in our area in 2023 to meet the ever-growing demand. WillVet South opened in downtown. Oregon Veterinary Referral Associates and the Emergency Veterinary Hospital moved locations and expanded. Emergency Veterinary Hospital outgrew their space on Q Street and needed a larger space. They found it close by on Pioneer Parkway. They remodeled and moved in this past fall. 24/7, 365 days a year, they serve the animals we love in their time of need. My husband and I have personally experienced the compassion and commitment they provide to our pets, and us as pet parents. The new facility and the people who provide this service to our community are top-notch. Springfield is a great place to live and do business. I encourage community members and visitors to support our local economy. In doing so, we continue to strengthen our community and promote economic growth.
Glenwood continues to see growth and success. In 2023, we welcome new businesses such as Valley Contacts and Stone Creek Granite and Marble. We also saw businesses expanding their presence in Glenwood. Rosen Sun Visor Systems expanded their site to accommodate additional capacity. We continue to receive interest from developers for other properties in Glenwood as well. Additionally, the cities of Springfield and Eugene, along with LTD, received a grant called RAISE from the U.S. Department of Transportation for the Franklin Boulevard Partnership Project. With these funds, Springfield is moving forward with designing a roundabout at Mississippi Avenue and Franklin Boulevard. The new roundabout will further overall plans for the new Franklin Boulevard with the goal of connecting nearby neighborhoods, providing environmental benefits, and improving safety through sidewalks and bike infrastructure for walkers and bikers. I'm excited for the future of Springfield and what we'll accomplish together in 2024 and beyond.
Having a diversity of housing types in Springfield is crucial for meeting demand and creating a thriving community that embraces people from all walks of life. Marcola Meadows is the largest residential development in Springfield's history. It currently consists of nearly 425 homes and 312 apartment units. It also provides for a full range of neighborhood amenities with educational, organizational, recreational, and commercial services. The first of the 312 apartments have been rented, and the remaining units will be completed in early 2024, along with the fifth and final phase of residential development. This development provides needed housing in a tight market, as well as other amenities for the Springfield community, including parks, schools, and walking paths in the neighborhood, and connections to nearby stores, churches, and coffee shops. Without these types of housing developments, our community's housing needs cannot be met. It's exciting to have Marcola Meadows as a new neighborhood in Springfield.
"42nd Street is a key travel corridor in our community. Be it for getting to and from work, school, or just running errands, many Springfield residents travel on it daily. It's also a crucial street for commerce and conducting business. That's why, in 2023, the City Council approved a pavement repair project for 42nd Street between International Paper and Marcola Road. This section of street needs repairs beyond what normal maintenance can provide. In 2024, the pavement repair project will include applying a 2-inch overlay to improve the travel surface of the street. Additional improvements will be considered in conjunction with the 42nd Street levee analysis that staff is currently working on. Our goal with this work is to improve your daily travel experience on 42nd Street. Stay tuned for more details to come later this year about the construction.
The city is always trying to find ways to make upgrades for customers who need planning and development, and 2023 was a great year for some of those changes. People in the community now have easier access to building and development services through the online portal. When using the online service, the review process is more streamlined and you're able to get feedback quicker. A self-serve kiosk was also launched and available anytime City Hall is open, even during days and times our development counter is not. Ready Build plans were made available at no cost for building ADUs in small homes under 800 square feet in Springfield. The Springfield Map Hub was launched and provides a central website for the city's public mapping data, while also offering new and evolving features. It has information on zoning, infrastructure, surveying data, and more. Even though the counter is still open for walk-ins and appointments, these new features are sure to help simplify what was once a time-consuming process. Also in 2023, the council approved a review of the city's development fees that hadn't been looked at since 2004. More to come on that in 2024. To learn more about these building and development services, there's a development counter video available on the city's YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out today.
To help brighten up our local streets and save on current and long-term maintenance costs, this last year the City Council approved a citywide streetlight LED upgrade project. The city has almost 4,600 streetlights and were being upgraded as money was available, additionally many of which are reaching the end of life. The city received funding for the project through the American Rescue Plan Act, known as ARPA funds. This gives the city the ability to replace the remaining 3,100 lights that had not been previously switched out. LED lighting is up to 70% more energy efficient, lasts 4 to 5 times longer, and allows for better control of light output. No longer will we have the less efficient and dim amber type lighting. My fellow councilors and I are excited about this project that improves visibility and safety citywide in every neighborhood while reducing cost and time on maintenance. It is our hope you see the difference while you are out and about in Springfield for years to come.
The Springfield City Council is a volunteer position. Every year, councilors spend hundreds of hours in meetings, community events, coffees, and more. I'd like to thank them for their passion, their wisdom, and their dedication in embracing Springfield's journey. Springfield City Councilors, will you please stand up and be recognized? One of my favorite parts of being mayor is getting to know, recognize, and share the many parts of Springfield that are special. The Distinctively Springfield Mayor's Awards are given to celebrate unique contributions to our community. The Distinctively Springfield Business of the Year recognizes an organization whose leadership and employees have dedicated themselves to making Springfield the best it can be. It's my pleasure to recognize Sanapak as the 2023 Business of the Year. I'll be over there in a minute. We just have to finish the nice stuff I'm going to say about you. A Springfield institution since 1973, Sanapak embodies an unwavering commitment to our community and environmental excellence. Locally, they have over 130 family wage jobs. In 2023, they celebrated their 50th year in business. Their commitment to embracing Springfield's journey goes far beyond waste management. Sanapak has been the longtime supporter of many local nonprofits, including Northwest Association of Blind Athletes, Catholic Community Services, having holiday parties that build bikes, and more. And I cannot emphasize this point enough. In 2023, Sanapak helped bring back Springfield Cleanup. We wouldn't have been able to do it without them. So thank you. Accepting the 2023 Business of the Year Award on behalf of Sanapak are Aaron Donnelly, their Senior Account Manager, and Chris Carr, the District Manager, and they have brought a retired driver of 40 years with them. So please give them a round of applause. We're going to stand in the middle and we're going to get our picture taken. The Distinctively Springfield Employee of the Year recognizes significant contributions throughout 2023. Tonight I'm going to recognize 2 employees. Our first Employee of the Year is DPW Planning Manager Mark Rust. In the fall of 2018, Mark took on a challenging role of project manager for the City of Springfield Development Code Update. Under his leadership, this significant project was successfully completed and adopted by the City Council in 2022. Mark's meticulous attention to detail and his ability to effectively coordinate multiple stakeholders were instrumental to this project's success. Mark assumed the position of planning manager in 2022, where he played a pivotal role in the implementation of the new code. Mark's effort in analyzing the city's current planning fee structure, including collaboration with staff and consultants, have been invaluable in refining proposals that will be presented to City Council later this year. And it's a little known, when I ask around the community, they rely on Mark. Our business community brings up his name and his expertise so many times in understanding how the city should develop in the development code and how it should be applied. And frankly, as policymakers, we couldn't do it without you. So thank you so much. Our second Employee of the Year is Eugene Springfield Fire Battalion Chief Derek Frost. In his 26th year of employment with the City of Springfield and the Eugene Springfield Fire Department, Derek is the type of employee we wish we could clone. His technical expertise, dedication to the fire department, and community are unmatched. Most recently, Derek has led the fire department's training section. Derek's restructured how fire training is delivered, including real-time live fire training for safety and survival. Statistics, charts, and graphs will never cover the full impact of Derek's dedication to training. Now, when I told Derek that he was going to get the Employee of the Year award, his first reaction was, can I run into a flaming building instead? But if you've met the quality of the employees that serve us in the fire department, they're just outstanding, humble, and just dedicated to the craft, and we really appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much. The Community Champion Award recognizes individuals who tirelessly work to uplift Springfield, fostering unity, resilience, and a vibrant community spirit. Recipients embody the essence of service and inspiring others to actively contribute to our community. Brenda Moore has dedicated her career to serving others with her no-nonsense, roll-up-your-sleeves attitude. From her days in the Oregon State government through her current role as Executive Director of Lane Council of Governments, Brenda has been on a mission to make a real difference in our region. In addition to her professional responsibilities, she has an unwavering commitment to community service. Her compassion and dedication shone through the Holiday Farm crisis, where she ensured the safety of pets and livestock belonging to affected families. And anybody who knows Brenda knows how big her heart, her work ethic, and her service truly are. And when you ask elected officials in this county, what is the glue that holds us together? It's Brenda. And so many times that in our community, you hear elected officials use terms like, she saved my life. I couldn't do it without her. Or my city is finally able to engage in that technical conversation because I've had support. Every question you ever ask, she's got an answer for it. We really couldn't do it, our job as elected officials, without you, Brenda. By embracing our journey, you are writing your part of Springfield's story. I ask that you do your best and continue the spirit of Springfield as hardworking, friendly, creative, and open. We don't have to be afraid of changing in chaotic times. We only need to measure our success by our own potential. In Springfield, we show people kindness still matters. Checking on your neighbor still matters. Volunteerism and service still matters. Integrity matters. You matter. Your actions show who we are as a city. In my time as mayor, I've spoken about the importance of service and how everybody contributes. Tonight, I want to end with who we are leaving the journey to. For me, it's my daughters, Katie and Livy. They are beginning a grand journey, and I'm grateful to be part of it. I want Springfield to capture their imagination the same way it captured mine when I was in college all those years ago. Thank you.
Well, as we conclude our 2024 State of the City event, the councilors and I want to thank each and every one of you for being here, and especially to you, Mayor Van Gordon, for your leadership. Your many efforts and volunteer hours do not go unnoticed, and you are very much appreciated by all of us. And thank you again to all of you for joining us tonight. We hope that you're inspired by our community and what we have and we can accomplish together. I now invite you to join Mayor Van Gordon and all of us city councilors on stage for refreshments and conversation, and please have a safe rest of your night. Thank you so much.